Today we're going to look at comparing and ordering decimals. So let's just begin with our first example and we'll go through it and I'll try and show you 3 different strategies in order to handle a question like this. So the basic kind of question we're asking is, what is greater, or which one is greater? And in this case we're looking at 458 thousandths or 921 thousandths. So we are wondering which one of these numbers is greater. What's the larger of the 2 numbers? So I've got just strategy number 1. If you've got your thousandths charts out, we can simply use our thousandths chart to try and figure this out. So the first thing that we're going to do here is let's deal with 458 thousandths, and I'm going to just draw it in on my hundredths chart. So just a reminder, 4 tenths means 4 columns. So there's 1 column, there's 2 columns, there's 3 columns, okay, 4 columns done. The next part is we need 5 hundredths, and remember each square represents 100. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my 5 hundredths. And now the last thing, I'm going to try and do this. See if I might have to go to my pen. I'm going to try and draw in 8 thousandths. And remember, a thousandths block is just one of these little blocks. So there's 5 there, 6, 7, 8. So hopefully that's pretty clear. That value is 458 thousandths. And that's how big it is. So now let's look at the next one. You're going to see that in the next one, when we go to color it in, it's going to take us a little bit longer. Reason is we have 9 tenths because it's 921 thousandths. So 9 tenths would simply look like this. There's 1. Here's second column. So there's 2 tenths. There's 3 tenths. 4 tenths. 5 tenths. 6 tenths. 7. 8. And 9. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to color in 2 hundredths. So here, remember the squares are hundredths. So there's 1, there's 2. Last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to color in 1 thousandths. So I'll just color in one of these little spots. So pretty clear here. Hopefully you can see that comparing $458 thousandths to 921 thousandths, the one that is larger is 921 thousandths. So let's go quick to our next example here. We're going to use the same numbers, we're just going to use a different strategy. So I'm going to use 458 thousandths and 921 thousandths. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use a little place value chart to kind of work this one through. So let's start with 458 thousandths. So 1's value, I've got 0 of them. In the tenths, I have 4. In the hundredths, I have 5. In the thousandths, I have 8. And I have no 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths, or millions. So we'll just stop there. Now in the one below, I'm going to put in 0 for ones, 9 for tenths, 2 for the hundredths, and 1 for the thousands. So this is what I would always do. I always start left to right because the left place value, the farthest place value left, is the biggest one, and whichever one wins out in the biggest place value is the one that is larger. So you can see here, the ones is the first place value listed, and I have zeros in both of them, so they're tied, so we move to the next one. So we always start to the left and we move to the right because we want to start with the largest place value. Now we move to the tenths value. You can see 9 is larger than 4, so which one wins out here? The one with the 9. So I can actually stop here. Once I figure out the place value, the biggest place value, where one actually has a larger number than the other, we actually know which one is greater. So in this case, because the 9 in the tenths is greater than the 4, we can write our greater than sign like this. Now the last way of doing this, and I'm just going to use this here, is you just do the same thing you kind of did in your place value chart, but you don't make a place value table. So you start on the far left. So in this case, we'll start with the ones. They're both zeros, so they're tied. So we move to the next place value. We're going to the next largest. The 4 and the 9. Clearly the 9 is greater than the 4, so the 9 wins. So 921 thousandths is greater than 458 thousandths. So I hope this helps. Hopefully you can see which decimal value is greater than another decimal value. You'll have lots of practice, so good luck. Have a great day.